the song of the insurgent woman. We come, we are here at last, sisters, ye waited long, but the cold dark night is past, and the day breaks clear and strong. What are the gifts we bring? Hope in the place of despair, truth in everything, and justice everywhere. These are the gifts we bring, and their magical power shall last, till the beast in man is slain, and man is man at last. Then love, undying love, shall shape this old work anew, brighter than heaven above, fresher than morning dew, and our beautiful human life, free from all sad annoy, no space for empty strife, shall be charged to the full with joy. We come, we are here at last, sisters, ye waited long, but the cold dark night is past, and the day breaks clear and strong. That is one of only 2 pieces of poetry written by Elizabeth Wolstenholme Elmy that survive to this day. Welcome to Elizabeth's Corner. I'm Susan Munro, and I have for you today 2 interesting guests. I have Diane Cook, our fellow trustee of Elizabeth's Group, and we've got Jo Chesterton, a fellow member of Congleton Writers Forum. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
And we want to talk to you today about the book, the anthology that we're putting together, that hopefully we will release on International Women's Day 2024. And that piece of poetry is the inspiration for the whole book. It will be at the front, and we have been taking little lines from it to make different chapters that we can put the work under. We've had lots of work submitted, but we still want more. We've had lots of poetry and lots of short stories and some prose, but we still need more. I'm just going to give you some examples of what we've got under our headings so far. So what are our headings, Diane?
Well, I think we better talk about our title as well.
Oh gosh, yes, what we're going to call our wonderful book.
Yeah, well, we thought because Elizabeth is still very much at the forefront of what is going on today, just as relevant as before, still she rises.
Yes. Yeah.
Still for a couple of reasons. Yeah. Still because she's continuing to be there, be prominent, and also
still because of the way she worked. I mean, she, that stillness, that fortitude, that steadiness of working within the constraints of the time, lobbying Parliament. She wasn't chaining herself to post office railings and stuff. She worked within the system and managed to get so much change by doing that.
Sort of calmness.
A calm stillness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I particularly like the title because she still speaks to people today. She still speaks to me very much. The whole of the project, getting the bronze statue, all that just fell into place, and I would sometimes think, what am I going to do next? And then I'd wake up next morning and the thought of what to do was just there. And I like to think that was Elizabeth still giving the ideas, still going forward, wanting it her way. It's her project. Yeah. So, what is the first heading that we chose?
Well, I mean, they're wonderful words, and it was a difficult choice to sort of whittle out the ones that we were going to use. But one that sort of jumped out at us was "Sisters, you have waited long," which indeed we have, and in some cases we are still waiting.
Yes.
So we've had quite a few submissions that fit into that category. One of which I shall read to you. It's by Jean Torn, and it's called Leaving Day. Leaving Day. The time has come to pack my things and start a life brand new. To leave this house and drive away, that's all that's left to do. The future is exciting. I don't know what it holds, but I shall take it as it comes and see how it unfolds. All I know is it feels right to strike out on my own, taking chances, living life, and nobody to moan. I don't know how it will turn out. I just have to wait and see. Nothing could be worse, though, than never being me.
Yes, brilliant.
Right.
So, what was the next category, Diane?
We picked out something uplifting, hope in the place of despair. So we thought that would be quite an inspirational title or category for people to respond to. So any submission that you have regarding being uplifted after a bad period of time, we would welcome that. Anything that inspires hope in other people too.
And the next one?
We've also got picked out what are the gifts we bring, and that again is an all-encompassing category. The gifts that women can bring, emotional gifts, fortitude, the teaching, anything like that. Any women that have touched you or you admire, your mother, anybody, or somebody famous even.
That takes me right into one of the poems we've got that we popped under that category. It's called Mother.
Great.
Your arms are a blanket to my troubled heart. Like lavender you soothe my soul. You see the best and the worst in me, but most importantly, how the most damaged parts of my soul shine brighter than gold. You have guided me to be a proud feminist. Through all the chaos, you helped me realise that within every strong woman lies a curious girl waiting to be discovered. To all the mother figures out there, you don't have to be strong all the time. You're allowed to be vulnerable. Happy Mother's Day.
That's great. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was written by
Yeah.
a 16-year-old. I think it's really lovely.
Absolutely.
And I think what's good about that, anybody can write a poem about the mother. It doesn't have to,
And
how
what I like is how she's used the word mother figure, because it could also be a foster mother, it could be a mentor, it
Yes.
could be
Yeah.
anybody that has helped that young person along in life and
Yes.
become a mother figure.
So what's the next category did we have?
We've also got the beast in man is slain.
Whoa.
I just love that line.
The beast in man is slain. Yes. We don't want you to think it's an anti-man book.
Oh, no,
No,
by the way.
not at
we
all.
want we want some writing from men.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do. We have
yes.
got a few pieces in from men.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the man there is the human.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
as in mankind.
Mankind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But this is a small piece that could go under that heading, and it's by me.
Yes.
And it's called Graziella Tarantella. They call me Graziella Tarantella. I will heal your blood. I turn about slowly, find my horizon. My block point? His pupils. They are level with my shoulders, so I glance downwards. Lashes flashing under my fringe, doe-eyed, pleading. I scoop my hands upwards, elongate my spine and neck. One quick spin, a 360, I stop, fix, flash the baby blues. I strike the tambourine above my head and he starts back, leans against the wall. 2 spins, 3 pirouettes, then 4, until I carousel, bobbing, stirring, blocking with a flick of my head. My ponytail loosens, frees itself, and canters around my ears and jawline. The aim is to work up a sweat, not just a lady glow, but a river, its fury spent. The satin begins to cling around my waist as I hear the tapping, then stamping of heels, urging the tambour to ring out the frenzy. The Neapolitan night condenses between my shoulders as I gyrate. Those eyes, multiplied now, are there, gone. His eyes are now theirs, lost in the blur. A pool begins to form from drips around my bare feet. The grey paving stones darken with the salted cure. I slow imperceptibly at first. I lower the tinkly drum, and as I stop, flick it against my soaked right hip, I pick up his eyes again. As he hands me the 20 lira note, I see the black spider tattoo on his wrist as it crawls back up his sleeve.
Gosh. Certainly slaying that.
Slaying the spider.
Yes.
Of course, the tarantella was the dance in southern Italy. If you got bitten by the southern Italian tarantula, you dance this dance to sweat out the poison. So, yeah.
Steamy stuff.
Yeah, it just happened to be quite sexy at the same time.
So, what's our next category?
Next category is charged to the full with joy.
Yeah, naming my car. Back in 2018, I bought a new car. What does this have to do with women, you might say? Please bear with me, I will explain. In the past, I have always chosen names for my cars, as well as a sentence to help me remember the registration. I knew my car was coming from Manchester, and I was eventually given the details so I could insure it. So before I even met my new car, I have the registration and thinking cap on. Recalling the Manchester connection, it was easy to decide on the words to fit and with the letters and numbers. 1 week later, the money was paid in, the car was insured for me to drive it, and I was looking forward to meeting her for the first time. My husband dropped me off at the Volkswagen showroom, and there she was parked outside and waiting for me. Registration MW18TKV, which stands for Manchester Women of 1918. Thank you kindly for voting. From that day on, I have referred to my Polo as Emmeline, but I'm now thinking perhaps it should be renamed Elizabeth. Yes, definitely should. Definitely should. The final category was anything at all about Elizabeth. And I've got a little reading that was sent in by a man, a very good supporter of Elizabeth's group. This gentleman's called Mr. Lee Wolstenholme, and he is the only relative of Elizabeth that we have ever been able to find. And Lee sent in this little poem, Scourge of the Commons. Here she comes, 4'11" tall, with an impact 10 feet high. Mistaken for Jenny Wren, but no, more like an owl. Wise, all-seeing, eyes focused on the prey. Inequality and injustice. Swooping down to attack, resolute, undaunted. Why else would men in pinstripes dive for cover into offices that aren't their own? And the hollowed halls of power tremble at the pitter-patter of tiny feet with their impact of thunder. Here she comes, the scourge of the commons. Lovely.
Yeah.
It's quite astonishing when you walk past the statue in the town as well and realise that it's life size.
Yes.
That she could have, made men crumble and tremble. In such a manner.
Yeah, well, I know when Hazel was making her, that was the thing that she wanted to do, was to make her life-size, because she said her small size emphasises the power that she had.
And at street level.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't even say eye level, can you?
No.
But I love her imploring hands as well, that position as well. Yeah.
And it means that people interact.
Absolutely.
With her
Yeah. And every time you go up, there is somebody interacting with her, aren't there?
Yeah.
One way or another.
Tap her on the shoulder when I walk.
Yeah, I think that's lovely. People touch her, and particularly touch her hand. Somebody said she brings you luck. I don't know whether that
I mean, the idea of her as a talisman is quite a nice impression, actually.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yes.
It'll probably smooth out that bronze hand.
Yes.
It'll be the smoothness on the
Yeah,
statue.
be the polished bit.
But if people feel they're getting something from her,
Yeah.
just by touching her,
That's
She's
to the good.
that she inspires things in people right up to today. Well,
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there is our little programme coming to an end. This book, we're excited about it. Please send us in your work. We were particularly interested in some artwork. It would be nice if you're an artist, you want to paint a picture, comes under any of these categories, or of Elizabeth herself. Please do. You've got until the end of August to get your submissions in, so please keep them rolling in. And thank you once again from Elizabeth's Corner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So let me quickly recap. The title of our publication is going to be Still She Rises, and the 5 categories are going to be Sisters, Ye Waited Long, Hope in the Place of Despair, The Beast in Man is Slain, What Are the Gifts We Bring, Charged to the Full with Joy. And there's going to be a whole section about all things Elizabeth. We're particularly interested in artwork, so all you budding artists out there, and submissions from men. So don't be shy, send all your submissions in, and the email address to send them to is elizabethwelmy@gmail.com by the 30th of August, please. Thank you very much. Get writing.